Hello, everyone. This is Luis Santos podcast, and I'm very excited here with my man Sam. He's my customer. He came in for a tattoo, a South American tattoo, and we thought we'll divide this podcast in a few parts because we had a lot to talk about. First time we spoke about his tattoos, the meaning of his tattoo, the South American tattoos, and his life and everything. We spoke a bit about South America and the spirituality, but we thought we would make a different section for football, right?
Yeah.
Because when I first saw it, of course, we had a lot in common to talk about, and we spoke about a lot of things. But football was something that we agreed on. We really enjoyed talking about. We both like it. We both enjoy talking about it. So I thought it'd be really cool if we do a section on the World Cup, right? World Cup, man. Yeah, because when I first met Sam was just before the World Cup, and we were like really excited about it. We were talking about it, and I think I last saw you before the World Cup. Then we were making the predictions, and now first time I've seen after the World Cup. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what was your overall? Did you enjoy the World Cup? What did you think of it? Did you think? I feel like in this World Cup, what I felt like was the best teams didn't win.
Well, because Brazil didn't win.
No, and England.
Yeah.
I think the two best teams in the World Cup were Brazil and England. We had the best teams, but we didn't win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I think I liked it. I really liked the World Cup. I thought it was great. Obviously, there was a lot of kind of controversy kind of surrounding it. Obviously, first time being in the Middle East, they all the kind of construction that they've had to do in short notice. The fact that it's kind of midway through the football season, so how's that going to impact like the different leagues and all that kind of stuff. But no, overall, I thought it was really good, and I think it was because all my predictions just didn't happen.
I think it broke a bit because when the World Cup was going to be in Qatar, first time it was in a country, in a faraway country like that, in a area where there's not been World Cups ever. But I think now people maybe going to be a bit more open-minded about it.
Well, yeah.
Because we have to understand that everything changes, and Saudi Arabia, all these places, they are doing well financially. They want the world to look at them because apparently there's a new king now in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's like the crown prince there.
Crown prince,
basically,
and he's changing everything.
He's basically running the place. Yeah, he's getting a bit more westernized. But yeah, even talking about like the football and stuff, they're making. I know they're trying to buy F1. Trying to bring that over to Saudi, so I think Qatar is the kind of almost the first kind of brick out the wall.
They're trying to get a racing Formula One to be there in Saudi Arabia.
F1 there, obviously signing. They signed Ronaldo, didn't they? So that's going to bring a lot.
I think that's good. That's because everything changes. We can't expect everything to stay the same all the time. And these guys, they are the guys now, man. They have the oil, they have the money.
Yeah, exactly, man.
You can't argue with them, and if you have so much money to. Why not invest? They have the money to invest in whatever they want. And, excuse me. If they want to invest in sports, that's a great thing as well.
And they are sport crazy up there. Like they do. It's not like they're bringing it over just to like look like they're good. Like people over there, like Arabs, love football.
Do they?
I had a friend who lives in Qatar, or who used to live in Qatar, and he used to say, although there's not a lot of like football and stuff that goes on there, all of them watch football all the time.
That's cool. That's cool.
Crazy country.
Yeah, I think I believe one day all the players after the Premier League and after their career, they're gonna go to Saudi. I think the Saudi is gonna be the next league to go to.
It used to be, because it used to be America. Do you remember when David Beckham?
I went to America.
David Beckham went to America, and football before David Beckham went over there, like the MLS was not big at all. Like hardly anyone went over there. But now it is kind of the thing where they're getting a bit older. Like China went through a bit of a phase for it as well. Lots of footballers were going over to China. But now, I agree.
Saudi,
I think it will be the Middle East, and it will.
Do you think one day the Saudis, because the Saudis they have so much money, I just think anything's possible with them because they've got so much money. Like, do you think one day it's possible that the Saudi league could be the main league in the world? Like, imagine everything changes, right? Say for instance, when Pelé played, the Brazilian league was the best league in the world, and now the Premier League is the best league in the world. But I just wonder, if 50 years, in 100 years, what's gonna be the league that's gonna be the best league in the world? Not long ago, the Italian league was the best one, wasn't it?
The 90s Italian league.
90s, see, everything changes, man. So I think the Premier League is in a good place now, and I wish it stays for a long time. But like you said, everything changes, and you never know what's gonna bring us in the future.
I think there's a lot of there's a lot of factors obviously involved in it. Obviously, I think the Premier League's the best in the world because it's just everyone kind of comes over to play here. Everyone in like the UK is kind of football mad. We've got like the population here as well. We've got lots of big stadiums. So I think with Saudi, potentially it could happen. I think they'd have to have a bit of a population boom. They'd have to have like more people.
More people there, yeah.
But obviously, when you have more people there, this is why like I remember like my dad speaks to it all the time. Like when you see like smaller nations when they have good football teams, like it's crazy to think about because when you think of like how many people are in the population, only a certain amount of them are going to be like decent at football. So the more people you have, the more people are decent at football, and then you can kind of have.
That's why maybe Brazil has five World Cups because Brazil's so big.
Exactly, man.
But to be honest with you, I think it's true because if you look at Brazil in 2002, if you look at where Ronaldinho comes from and where Rivaldo comes from, it's like 6 hours on the plane.
Is it?
Yeah, like because Ronaldo is from the south of Brazil.
Yeah.
He started with Grêmio. Grêmio is like Rio Grande do Sul. It's like right south in Brazil. Rivaldo is from the north of Brazil. Like Recife is like, if you look at Rio Grande do Sul and Recife, they're like 6 hours on the plane. It's so far away. So Brazil could be different countries, you know.
Aren't Brazil doing like cause they're doing a thing now, aren't they? Because obviously a lot of nowadays, obviously like back in the day with Pele and stuff, Brazil was the top league. Loads of South American players were really great. All the leagues and stuff were really good. But now then you find that a lot of players are now moving over to Europe. To obviously get that very early on. I saw a thing when obviously when Pele died. I think the Brazilian like FA are going to do kind of like a new program to basically keep them there, to keep them in Brazil and make the Brazilian league better. Because like in theory, like say you've got the population in Brazil, you've got the people, you've got the football crazy people, you've got decent sized stadiums. Like in theory, the level of football should be. To
be honest with you, mate, I think Brazil has more talent than it can show because I've seen so many players, good players, who didn't get the opportunity to play because there's so many good players. They only pick the best of the best.
Yeah.
I believe in Brazil, if there was even more clubs, I reckon Brazil could show more talent, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's just a matter of like, I've heard even Cafu was denied in the first 3 clubs he went to. Imagine Cafu. He went to 3 clubs, they're like, no. And he was accepted in 1 club that was really far away from his house. He had to go, he had to accept. And then that team played against São Paulo.
Yeah.
And he played really well. So São Paulo saw him and they got him. That is actually happened a few times. Romario was his dad trying to take him to Vasco when he was a kid. And Vasco was like, nah, he's too small. And then he started in another team. And this team played against Vasco and the kids team. And he scored 7 goals. Then Vasco we won him.
That's good. But I think like the strength in England, which maybe like Brazil should kind of mirror. Because obviously in England you have loads of tiers of football. Do you know what I mean? You have like the Premier League just at the top, but then you've also got like the Championship, you've got League 1, League 2, and then you have all the lower leagues underneath as well. Is that kind of similar in Brazil? Is there like a top league in Brazil? Is there like a second league? A third league?
It's the same. It's the same in Brazil.
Yeah.
But things about in Brazil is just similar to here. Like all the big clubs now, the clubs that have been bought by rich people. So, say for instance, Flamengo is the biggest club in Brazil now. Flamengo and Palmeiras. That's because the people who own the club, they're very good with getting people to invest on them. So they get big companies to invest in them so they can buy the best players. And the biggest rival Flamengo has is Vasco da Gama. But Vasco da Gama has not won a title for 8 years. And Vasco da Gama has not been administrated well for a long time. And they've not won a title for a long time. And Vasco da Gama used to be a big team when Romario used to play for them. And Edmundo. Manchester United went to Brazil to play against Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama won against them 3-1, I think. And that time, I think 99, Vasco da Gama had a really good team. They went a bit down for a bit. Not really good people in the club to bring money to the club. Now they've been bought by millionaires or billionaires apart. So now they're gonna be able to fight against Flamengo. So the Rio de Janeiro league is gonna get stronger now.
But that's good. That's what it is. What it is. I guess it is bad in a way, but money does talk in football. Like you do need
investors. You need investors more, you know. But that's why I love about the World Cup, because it's all about the best team.
Yeah,
You know, it's all about.
It's not to do about money.
You have to be born in that country, and then
Yeah.
you have to play for a country. And then it's like,
I
doesn't
agree.
matter how rich you are, you have to. Yeah, I think the World Cup is kind of magical in a way. I think it's a shame that it's so quick. It's really quick, isn't it?
It's weird, isn't it? 'Cause
The
it
knocked out stage is like boom, out.
literally goes. It's
Yes.
weird when you're watching football every day. How quickly it does go by. Because in theory it was 4 weeks. It was a month long. Which you think about football every day for a month, you think amazing. That's why everyone's like really excited for it. But yeah, no, it does go really quickly.
Were you happy for Messi?
Do you know what I was?
Yeah.
I was. Although I did want France to win.
Did you?
Remember I messaged you. I wanted France to win.
Why did you want France to win?
Because I thought France were the better team.
They were a better team. That's the thing.
But they weren't. I don't know. It's weird. They weren't when they played Argentina. I think Argentina deserved to win that final because I think they were the better team. To be fair, and I think France, a lot of their big players kind of let them down. I think it was pretty much just Mbappe who was ridiculous.
But if Messi never won a World Cup or even a title for Argentina, I would feel frustrated for him because he's such a good player.
Now he's got two because he won the
South American Cup, yeah.
He won the Copa America, didn't he?
Do you know, like when Messi won the World Cup, he didn't cry. He's like, "Fuck, you're a tough guy, man. Like winning the World Cup is like the biggest trophy you can, the main trophy in the whole world, like of football. It's like you're the top of the world." He seemed really happy, but he didn't cry. And I was like, he's such a tough guy.
Do you reckon he had that feeling, kind of what we were talking about previously? Do you reckon he had that kind of like content feeling almost? That he felt a bit comfortable, a bit relaxed at the moment because then he's gone, I've done it all now. Kind of sigh, like
Relief.
relief. Yeah, I've done it all now.
I'll be honest with you, like I looked at when he won the South American Cup. That was the first trophy
That's
he won
when
for
he was
us.
crying
He
and
won.
stuff.
He
Yeah,
cried.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Because that was the moment that he was like, "Thank God for that." Because how can a player like Messi never win anything for his country? He's such a good player.
And
I think
Argentina have had good teams as well when he's been
good
there.
teams, but I think if Argentina, do you think if Argentina had better teams, he would have won more things for Argentina, or do you think it was just a matter of bad luck, really?
I think it was a bit bad luck. 'Cause even
Yeah.
then, the team that they had when they won this World Cup, good team, but not like amazing. I'd say the 2014 one when they lost to Germany in the 2014 final. I think that team's better than the one that won it
No.
this time.
Okay.
But I think it's because they were experienced, because most of the people who won the Copa America were in this team as well. And I just think Lionel Messi is just ridiculous. I think if Messi wasn't in that Argentina team, they don't win.
No way.
No chance they win. Yeah, no, I just think it was definitely his. People will remember it as his World Cup, and I think he did carry Argentina. I think there were better teams, but a lot of better teams kind of. I don't know. It's weird in a World Cup, isn't it? 'Cause like I say, you're not in your club and all that kind of stuff, and like every game's like I say, you can't call it. Every game is different. Like you had Morocco, they knocked out. That was it. Spain, Portugal, and they knocked out. Who was it as well? Was it Germany?
Germany, yeah.
It might be Germany, yeah. Knocked out three, it was Belgium. I think it was Belgium.
Belgium.
But yeah, knocked out three massive teams. Because obviously when you're going in, you're looking at it, you think, oh, this team's going to beat this team. It's going to think like we were thinking there was going to be a Brazil-Argentina
semi-final. Yeah, my God, everyone's fun. Oh my God, can I be honest with you? I'll be completely honest with you. Like, I'm glad Brazil didn't get Argentina in the semi-final.
Because if you lost to Argentina,
I think we would lost it because I just feel like that was Messi's World Cup.
Yeah.
And I think I mean, a lot of people don't believe in that, but in astrology, there was an astrologist on YouTube, and he calculated the time Messi was born and the place he was born, everything, and he said the planets on this World Cup were on his side. Everything was on this World Cup. I felt like the gate was open to Messi to get to because if you look at Argentina's, they didn't really have a hard time getting to the final. I think Holland match was one of the match they had a bit of trouble, but if you think about it, Argentina had trouble in the second half of the final. That's when first half was just like
easy.
I mean, don't get me wrong, but I'm not saying it was an easy World Cup, but which it was a bit easy, but I just feel like that was Messi's moment, like because even astrological, spiritual, or like how you want to call it, it was his moment. It was not Brazil's moment. It was not.
I agree with you in the sense that it kind of was lined up for him, but you still have to go out and get it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's like my frustration as like an England fan. That's what it's.
Do you not think in some moments they'll look as well?
A little bit. But like
that's why what I say is like they had to do it, but I feel like the universe kind of opened the gate for them.
It's true, but I still give them credit for the team. Because as an England fan, the universe has opened its gate for us before as well. Couple times. So first one was World Cup in Russia, where we went out to Croatia in the semi-finals. But our like run to get to the semi-finals and then potentially the final where we had France. This is similar to Argentina's in the sense that they weren't hard games. They were easy games that we had, and you did think like this is going to be it. Like we're going to get all the way there. And then in the Euros as well, we even got to the final. We think, oh, even better. The gates opened even better now, but like now we're switched on a bit more. Got to the final, then we lost against Italy. So I do think there is a bit of the universe can present that opportunity to you, but you've still got to be there to take it.
You have to be aware of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Be aware of the opportunity. Be aware of the energy.
Because I think maybe potentially with England as well. I think you have. On stuff like that where kind of like you get to semi-final, you get to final. Like when we played France this World Cup in the quarters, kind of people were kind of expecting to win. Do you know what I mean? They were like, "Oh, this is our World Cup. We're the Messi, and we're just gonna win this." And you kind of go in, you kind of like I don't know if the players feel it as well. They're a bit kind of lackadaisical. They're not taking it completely serious. You know, they're not kind of committed. Kind of like they just want to win. They're kind of expecting it to. And I think when when you're like that. And you're not 100%, the team that's against you who are 100%, they will beat you every time.
True. And one thing as well, I felt like with Argentina, they lost the first match, didn't
they? They lost to Saudi.
They lost Saudi Arabia, and then the second.
And everyone was calling. I remember I was calling them out. I was saying they're not going to win it now. They've lost to Saudi.
And then the second match, the first half they didn't score.
Yeah.
And they had the second half to score to save them to stay in the World Cup, and Messi went bang.
It was Messi.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I'll be honest with you, May. Like it was beautiful to see Messi win the World Cup. I'm glad for him. And I think, there was an Argentinian commentator, and when Argentina won the World Cup, he's going crazy.
Did you see the videos from Buenos Aires?
Buenos Aires, the people there, it was beautiful, like everyone in the streets.
Yeah.
This Argentinian commentator, he's like crying and he say, "Un dia bajo Messi, un dia bajo Maradona." He was looking at these guys like Messi and Maradona. They came from the skies. They were like a saint, and I'm like, I get what he's saying because Argentina only wins the World Cup when there's a player like Maradona and Messi. They like come from the sky to save them.
I can't. They're not going to win. They're not going to win another one for a while, for a long time.
You wait until another Messi's born or another Maradona's born. It's going to take a long time.
They have to be Argentinian as well.
They're going to take a long time, and so I'm grateful for them. I think they should enjoy. They didn't win a World Cup for 36 years, man.
Yeah.
And and they won the South American Cup in Brazil. But I was happy for them because I'm like, thank God for that, man. Give them one, because they needed that. They have Messi. He's a good player.
See, this is why I think because obviously this is kind of Messi, Ronaldo. They're kind of finished now. Kind of new generation of Mbappe's and Erling Haaland's are coming into play now. Erling Haaland, a bit unfortunate that he plays for Norway and they're not really the kind of a massive. They potentially could be because they've got Martin Odegaard and players like that in the future. So potentially, but people like Mbappe now who plays for France. France have a great team. I think France will come to dominate most competitions now. A lot of them to do with Mbappe.
They scared me, France, man. They worry me.
That second half was honestly
France got in the last World Cup final.
Well, they won the last one, didn't they? Yeah.
In Brazil, they didn't get to the final, but they got to the final in 2006. They got to the final. So since '98, they got to the final 4 times. That's 20 years, isn't it? More than 20. Imagine 4 finals since '98. That's crazy, man.
2014 was a bit of the drop off when they were 2010 and 2014. Sorry, because 2010 it was Italy who won it in 2006, wasn't it?
Italy won 2006.
Yeah, there's a damn headbutt. Yeah.
2010 was Spain.
2010 was Spain.
2014 Germany.
So I think Spain will come back a bit. I think Germany are a bit in the mud.
Germany are not doing that well.
But
have you heard of a Brazilian kid called Hendrik?
I have. Just signed for Real Madrid, hasn't he?
Man,
Is he on Real Madrid?
Yeah, man, that kid, man, whoa, man,
60
that kid.
million.
He reminds me of Adriano with Ronaldo, a bit of a mix.
He's 16 though, isn't he?
Man, he's so strong. Man, if someone goes for him, but tackle, he goes on the floor, and he carries on running, man. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's not like Neymar as I was diving. May I've got a good feeling about that kid, about Hendrick.
I think the future of Brazil will be fine. I think. Like I
think the next World Cup